as you know, the webinar today is short. It's not very long. I'm not going to take too much of your time. It's about ancillary steel. And the reason ancillary steel is important is because it is very lightweight steel and it takes a lot of time, both the modeling as well as the drawing creation. So I'm going to be showing you a few things about handrails and about ladders and about floors and gratings and checkered plates and those things, and show you the tools we have available inside Comosys. And hopefully you will like them. We are constantly developing more and more of these tools. But the idea is to give you a flavor of what we have at the moment. Now, let's begin with handrails. So I'm going to do a few simple examples. So if you go to the ancillary steelwork, you're already familiar with the right-hand side, the components. If you go to the ancillary steelwork, you have the handrail macro over here. It's a very capable macro. Capable component. And what you can do is when you click on it, it asks you to select a beam. Now, you can select any beam. So let's select this one, for example. And then it asks you to select more beams. And I'll come back to that later. But for the moment, I'm just going to say right click. And then it asks for 2 points. And I'm going to right click again. You can show from this point to this point. I'm going to right click that as well. And it immediately creates a handrail for us with certain default settings. Now, I can look at them from all sides. As you know, what we do in Comosys is you select any member created by the macro, press M, and then press Enter, and you will open the dialog box. And the first thing you see over here is the control you have over, for example, if I were to show it to you like this, the control you have over the beginning and the end. So you have control like if I were to say 1000 from the start, you will see that it gives an offset of 1000 from the start. Similarly, you can give an offset from the end as well, and that's convenient. And then you can have different post locations. So, for example, if I were to say 1000 or maybe 700, for example, it just gives one post like that. But if I would say 7000 space 2 into 500 space 3 into 900, then I can have as many variable post locations as I want to. And then I can give individual, so for example, this is post number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. If I want, I can give individual offsets to individual to particular posts as well. So let's say I don't have this. Let's say it's an equidistant thing, but I just want to move the third one a bit to the right. So this is the first one, the second one, the third one, a bit to the right. So I just go to the, say, third one, offset of 200. And if I do that, then only the third one moves by an offset of 300. This is important because sometimes posts come on very inconvenient locations and you need to move them left or right a bit. So that's quite convenient. Now, if you go to the post settings, you have your angle type, you have the pipe type, and more importantly, what you have over here is how you can place the post. So right now it's placed in the middle. If I want, I can place it on the side as well. Now, if I do that, what happens is, let me show it to you from the other side. You have this kind, it moves to the side. So let's go in again and show it to you from there. So if this is right in the center, the post is in the center of the beam. This is offsetted a bit. You can enter the offset over there. And this one is actually outside, and then it creates a separate connection from the side. If you want, you can always click anything and say select the assembly, and it shows. If you say show only, it can show you what that handrail assembly looks like. So that's a very convenient way of entering your handrail, like I said. From the post settings, you can do all these little modifications. What you can do is if you go to your handrail settings over here, you can make these ends. So for example, if you say round the start of the handrail, you can say apply, and the start is rounded like this, or you can say round the end as well, and the end is rounded as well, like you see on the screen. And now, once again, you can have your knee plate extended. The knee plate is this the one at the center. You can extend it left a bit to the left or a bit to the right, giving the different options. Now, if you see over here, there are many different things which we can do regarding the handrail settings and even embedded steel. So you can actually put this embedded steel on concrete as well. And if you use the concrete options, then you can actually you can have the concrete connections, and that's a big advantage. You can create a removable handrail if you want. A removable handrail. Let's go back to the post settings and put them in the center, and then we have this option of create a removable handrail. And if you select that, then a removable handrail is created. If you see over there, this is a handrail in which there's a little pipe slightly bigger than that one, and it just basically slides into that that slot created by the pipe. So that gives us the option of creating removable handrails. You can, like I said, create concrete connections. You can have different parameters for the removable connection. Bolts and wells have to do with the side. If you just saw there was a connection from the side, and you have control over the bolts and wells over there. So a lot of things you can do over here. Now, if you remember when I was starting, I said that when we select the command, it asks for more than one beam. So I could say I want this beam, because sometimes you have a long floor, and there are many beams in parallel with splices in between them. So you want to select multiple. So I'm going to select this one and this one and this one, and then right click. And then it asks for a point. So I can say some from the center of this one to the center of that one. And it's going to create my handrail between those 2 points, going along the beams as if they were one single beam. So that's another very convenient way of using it. Now, we talked about rounding edges. We talked about the post placement. We talked about the various options. Let me go on and show you a few more things about it. For example, we can, if we were to create a handrail on this beam and another one on that beam, and then if we wanted to create a, if we need to just round these two off, because there's no beam over here, let's say, we just want to round these two off, we have something called the handrail connection. And this one, what it does is, it's a very convenient way. At the moment, you see that they're totally separate from each other. But if I were to select this, and then select basically any member from this handrail and any member from this handrail, it doesn't matter which element you choose. And then it asks for a point, and I'm going to show it the edge. And the moment I do that, it creates a connection between those two handrails. It joins them up. It sort of closes them up in a way. This particular thing which I just showed you, it closes them up. And it not only closes them up with the elbows over here, but also these toe plates are also extended to meet up. So this is a very nice and convenient feature, which allows you to do this kind of a connection. We can obviously have the same thing in a corner situation. So for example, if we have a handrail over here and a handrail over here, like that, and if you zoom in, you can see that the toe plates are not touching. These pipes are not connecting. This one is not connecting. All you need to do basically is just select this one, the connection macro, and select any member of this one and any member of that one. And the moment you do that, you will connect the two, and they will be connected by the appropriate elbow, which you can define in some file. And the toe plates also will be extended according to that situation. Now, let's do some other cases. What we can do is, for example, we have a little staircase over here. And in the stack, like if I've got two stringers going up and then two stringers going further up. Let me just create a few stringers, for example. Let's say this one, and I create some stringers. There's some threads. I've created some threads. This one, I basically use this stringer holes macro. It not only creates the holes inside the stringers, but also creates the threads for you. And you have some control. You have control over whether it's a checkered plate or a grating kind of a step. You can choose the geometry from a file. You can actually change it to a checkered plate if you want. You can change it to a grating if you want. There are some files. So if you see the available plates over here, these are files. These are links to files which you can customize according to your needs. So this is, for example, what comes up over here. It gives the unit weight of these gratings, for example. So if I were to go to my preferences folder, I have it over here. If I go to my preferences folder, I can see the available step gratings. And you see the same names over there coming up over here. And here you have their unit weights per unit area. And you define this file. You can customize this file according to your needs. And once you do that, then in your drawings, the right weights for the gratings will be created. Like I said, you also have the checkered plate option, etc., to create the checkered plate ones if you wanted to. Now, obviously, we're talking about handrails at the moment. So let me go back to the handrails. Once again, if we select an inclined member, let's say I select this one and right-click, I can create my inclined handrail with the same macro. Once again, if I do it for this one, I can create it over there. Once again, if I do it for this one, I can create one over there. And if I do it for this one, I can create one over there. Now, so that's very easy. Now, over here, you see these two are not connected to each other. So for this one, what we would do is we would go into the macro and say, I want the start and the end to be rounded, for example. So the starts and ends get rounded. But for this one, we want these two to connect. And for that, I can go once again to my handrail connection. And I can just select this one, and they're both coming from different directions. And immediately, what Comosys will do, it will create this very handy, neat little connection between the two, which you can see. And you have control, like I said, if I were to open that, you have control over this parameter, how much it's going to extend. If you don't want that, it can just connect directly as well. So very, very quick and very easy to connect your handrails to each other, create your handrails, have complete control over the posts, and basically go through the modeling very, very quickly. Now, I'm going to these are problematic. Ancillary steel is also problematic, not just because from the point of view of the handrails, the modeling, but also from the point of view of drawings. So let me just select these three handrails over there and create. Right now, I'm creating them from scratch. Create their assembly drawings from scratch and see where it takes us. Maybe I need to do numbering. I'm not sure, but I'll see. Yes, so we've created the drawings, and I'm just going to open. This is created right now, so there's no manual intervention. I'm just going to show you as they are created. As I zoom in, you see these are the assembly drawings of the macros, of the handrails, and you can see they're very neat, very neat and clean, very tidy. all the welds have been shown, the proper dimensions have been given. These would normally require a lot of cleaning up, and you would normally delete all the dimensions by hand, and then, you know, over here you see another one, and this particular handrail had this connection over there, and you see even that connection has been detailed pretty neatly. So these are not I mean, these are not drawings which require a lot of cleanup. They will require some cleanup at times, maybe a few little things you want to do manually. So I noticed that one of the views did not have the collapse option, one of the sections. You can change that from the settings as well, but if you want, so let me just show you this. So there's a plate which is extended and it's not collapsed, so I can just collapse that and fit that, and that's basically all I needed to do. And once again, I can collapse this and fit this. So you might need to do a few clicks, but if you just look at the quality of the drawing, I'm being totally, I mean, doing it in front of you, so there's no misunderstanding about what comes out of the box and what needs to be done. You can see the single part drawings, you can see the material lists, you will have your, obviously, title blocks, etc. So very quick, very neat, and very easy way to go through your ancillary steel. Now, similar is the situation with the ladders. I'm going to actually want to move on to the flooring without wasting, because there's a lot of detail over there which I need to talk about. But for the moment, I'm just going to show that when you create vertical ladders, for example, so you can just create a vertical ladder by a single click. You can just go like that, and you can create a vertical ladder. And then you have complete control over various aspects of the ladder. But what I'm going to show you over here is that if you go to the drawings, this is a drawing. I don't want to waste too much of your time. This is a drawing I had created earlier and spent about, I think it was 5 minutes on it, because I wanted to take certain. This is basically the drawing of that ladder, the vertical ladder. It's pretty clean, as you can see over here. The sections have been taken. The single parts are showing. So quite a neat drawing as it is. So I don't want to waste too much time over here. I want to quickly move on to the flooring, as that's also extremely important. And one of the most important things I want to show you today. I'm going to be opening up a large model for that. So this is a large mill building. It's a very large mill building, in fact, quite well detailed, lot of details. And let's say you wanted to do the grating, the gratings for this. So let me open a particular floor. Let's go to this floor. And see what we have. This is the one we want. Yeah. Okay. So this is a floor, a 22-meter level floor, and we want to create the gratings. Now, one way to, there are many, you could create the gratings by selecting points around, and that's very time consuming if you would know that. I'll show you a very nice way quickly. And for that, I'll show you the concept of floor polygons. So let me just turn on the polygons. The floor polygons. So these are these orange things, and you can actually produce them yourself. So let me go down and show you the floors. Go to the floor, which is, and first let me remove the polygons. Let me just clear the polygons so that we don't have them. And now I'm going to filter out these horizontal bracings because I don't want them to be part of the creation. So I'll go in there and I'll filter out the horizontal braces. So I'm not seeing the horizontal braces at the moment, as you can see on the screen. Now, with this filter, with the horizontal braces filtered out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that level and say, find my polygons. And I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say okay. And you see immediately it finds all possible locations for the grating, all the possible locations where you can put your gratings. And obviously there's some of them are unwanted. So what I'll do is select these openings. These are just openings in the structure. So I don't want to create gratings over there. I'll just select them and press delete. And now I'm okay with the rest. So these are possible areas it is automatically found where you could have your gratings. And now let's do something very interesting. I'm going to select the whole structure like that, press enter. It's a multiple selection, so I'm going to only select the floors, double click on that. Okay, so now I only have the floors selected. These are not gratings yet. These are just those orange polygons, which are potential gratings. And then I go to my grating, my floor grating macro. I see that the grating is selected, apply, okay. And I just press the button. I just go and I just press this button and just see what happens. When I press that button, within seconds, all my gratings are produced. Let me turn off the floor polygons so that they don't confuse us. And let me turn on the filters again for the horizontal brace. Yeah, I don't, yeah. So if you see, all the gratings have been created, and all the difficult points, there's a gap between. So let me look at it from the top. Let me go in like that. There's a you can control. You have complete control over these distances. Let me look at it from the bottom. You can see from here as well. If each and every one of them, and if you see, one beautiful thing is that they have been cut around the columns which are going through. And let me just, I have complete control over them individually as well. So if I put a bigger frame height limit over here, I can actually cut it like that if I want as well. If you notice, it's cut around the column over here. If you notice, for example, if I were to zoom in over here, this little grating over there knows that there's a column over there. So it's going to go around that. Let's do an even more difficult point. Over here, for example, there were some plates being welded. And these gratings, if I just say show only, these gratings have been cut out around those plates. So this is a lot of work. Let's look at this splice, for example. There's a splice over here, and this grating, which happens to be in that place, is now, if I say show only, it is cut around that splice. So a very, very fast way of just going through your floors. Imagine if you're doing this manually. Everything needs to be like 5 millimeters left and right of each other, and creating all those points, going around these columns. If you notice, it has even extended the edge, the ones near the edge. Let me look at it from the bottom. This is a better view. This is the grating, and it's extended it to the edge of the girt, because it knows that if it leaves it just on, so if you normally the gratings are from beam to beam, they go from the beam axis to the beam axis, but when it reaches the end of the building, it finds the nearest girt and it extends it to that point. So it's finding the nearest girt over here, and it's extending it to make sure that nobody falls off this little hole which we have over there. So very intelligent and very quickly. You can convert this into a checkered plate if you want. You can select M, enter, and instead of a grating, you can say I want a checkered plate, and it converts that into a checkered plate. The checkered plate once again knows the girt, and it kind of creates this little extension over there. You have control over where you want to place this. There's a lot of control I'm not showing you, which you can, you have these bending switches. This is a bending. You can have bending on any side, the 4 sides or 5 sides or whatever. You can say 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, which means bend it on the second and third edge. So you have bending switches. You have checkered plates. Like I said, you have expanded steel. You've got diamond plates. You've got these 4 options. But the beauty, if I were to remind you, is basically this, that you can, in one go, just select basically the entire floor after having created those polygons, which I just showed you. You can select this entire floor and create them in one go. If you were to create checkered plates, for example, let me go back to the checkered plate example now and look at it from the bottom. You will see that the checkered plate even has its strengthening, because the checkered plate is very thin. And if you walk on it, if you have a certain heavy live load, it gets pretty heavy. So you have a lot of this strengthening capability, which you can then modify. You can use angles, you can use plates if you want to. Like I said, you can use plates or you can use angles. So a lot of control. But the basic point being that this modeling, which would have taken you a long time, is now easily available. So let me quickly create some drawings for this as well. So let me go and perform numbering. Okay, the numbering is completed. Let me just go and select any, I'm going to select a few gratings. Maybe this one and this one. Yeah, we can basically, some of the more difficult ones, maybe this one and this one. And we can, let's say I just right click and say, create my assembly drawings for these selected gratings. If I were to do that, the assembly drawing is being created at the moment. Like I said, I just wanted to show you without manual intervention, because that's what's most important. The most time is lost with cleaning these drawings. And, you know, that's where, according to our experience, a lot of companies say that 50% of the time is spent on just cleanup of the drawings. So I'm going to just show you how the grating drawing comes up by default. Let me open the drawing. So you see that every grating has been drawn over there. It's a multiple assembly, so there's more than one assembly in each A0 drawing. You have your settings, of course. You have complete control. You have your material lists. You have your title block, etc. So very quickly you can create these multiple grating drawing. And of course, I don't know how to do it at the moment, but yeah, the grating symbol, you can turn on the grating symbol if you want as well on the drawings. That's very easy to do. You can turn on the grating symbols. So this is what I wanted to show you. Let me see what I have to say next. Yes, the ladders, the gratings, the frame offsets, this and that, the multiple. Yeah, so basically, this is what I wanted to show you about ancillary steel today. I'm going to go and see. We'll talk a bit more about this in some other webinar as well. There's lots more to talk about, but this is all I have time for today.